going to be a war the likes of you can't conceive of what's going to happen.
What can people here in Central Texas do to try to fix what's happening to the federal government? Or are you saying now it's so shot?
You cannot fix it. It cannot be fixed. Cannot be fixed.
All we can do...
They're not going to let anybody fix it. Your vote doesn't mean a damn thing, and if you haven't figured that out yet, then you're too far gone to even be listening to me.
Exactly. That's what Congressman Ron Paul, and I was shocked when even he said that. He said to me in the past and to my associates that all he can do is try to get the word out up in Washington, that he really doesn't have any power. All he can do is try to raise alarm bells about fascistic, communistic legislation that comes rolling past him every day. And he said that he thinks things are far gone. I said, so, sir, the sun is setting on the Republic. And he goes, well, it's pretty much already set. And,
that's correct.
And we're going into this thing full bore. And
that's why the socialists talk about the new dawn.
What is the new dawn?
The new dawn is the bringing to fruition of the New World Order. Their totalitarian, socialist, utopian world.
Technocracy. Technocracy, too, sir. Doesn't technology tie into their little fun games with the...
That's their biggest weakness. I just hope they cling to their technology with all they've got. I hope they train every soldier to use computers and not be able to function without a satellite uplink and all of that stuff, so we can just kick their butts all the way back to Washington, D.C. and try them for the crimes that they're guilty of.
Sir, I don't want to get into the things that you've already sacrificed and done for your country, but you've actually been threatened quite a bit, and people have actually attempted to try to kill you, haven't they?
Oh, yes. Almost succeeded a couple of times.
In fact, you lost...
My head caved in. I've lost my left leg in this fight. We've been shot at. We've been threatened. They made it so that we couldn't work for anybody. But, you know, that's exactly what happened to the Founding Fathers. They lost everything. They lost their families. They lost their children. They lost their wives. They lost their property. They lost limbs. They lost everything.
And it was only really 2% at the start of the revolution that got it going, wasn't it?
Well, I believe it was about 3.8% of all the people in the colonies helped found this nation and fought the Revolutionary War to create it and give what they called their posterity liberty and freedom. And the United States government was created to protect the rights of individuals, whether or not they voted. No matter what happened, they were supposed to stay within the bounds of the Constitution and protect the rights of individuals, and guaranteed us in that document constitutional Republican government, not just in Washington, D.C., but in every state, every county, every city of this country.
So, Mr. Cooper, you think that the feds may be backing down simply because you're in a strong community, or do you think they could just fly over one night and launch a hellfire attack with a...
Doesn't matter what they do, they lose, and they know it. They've stepped on their dicks this time. No matter what they do, they lose, and they know it.
Because if they make a martyr out of William Cooper...
Not only that, I'm right within the law. I am right under the Constitution, and I am right within the law, and it's all posted on my website on the Internet.
So you're saying you've dotted all your I's, you've crossed all your T's.
Absolutely.
You've drawn your line in the sand.
They lose. They either back down and get within the bounds of the Constitution, they lose. They come up here and they kill us all, they lose. And we're still free. Now, a lot of people aren't going to understand that, but I'll still be free.
No, you were mentally free. You didn't bow down. You didn't play the game. You didn't compromise. You died with your morals and with what you believed, and you were not altered by their propaganda or their intimidation.
That's right, and none of us are afraid. We are Christians. We know that if we do the right thing, God is going to smile at us when we get to those pearly gates. However people view those pearly gates, I don't care.
Absolutely. Well, sir, again, I really appreciate you taking out this time to speak to people here in Central Texas.
I'd like to give out the website because that's where people can get the documentation in the law and see what's really happening and understand why we're right, and not just blowing smoke, and understand that this is the stance that they're also going to have to take if they want to be free.
Yes, sir.
People who are not willing to die for freedom can never have it. That's the law of the universe.
Will you stay with us through a break, because I'm actually behind 2 breaks, and
sure.
if you stay with us,
give out the website though, because I got to get going too.
Okay, go ahead and give out your website, sir.
It's there's no www. It's just harvest-trust.org.
Harvest Trust.
No, it's not Harvest Trust. It's harvest-trust.org.
All righty. Well, sir, I really appreciate.
Go there. They're going to be absolutely amazed.
Well, I've been there several times, and it is a lot of good information for people to see. And I do respect you, and I certainly hope that the feds do back down, because I know that once a revolution does start in this country, and we've had a couple of them, that it's not going to be a pretty one, and that's it. The whole thing starts, and I know that I'm on the list. And I've heard a lot of people say, you know, I want to be on all the lists, at the top of every list. Well, I'll do what I have to do, but tell you the truth, I don't want to be on all their filthy lists.
Well, if you're not one of them, there's only one list, and you're already on it. So stop worrying about it. Just do what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Cooper, thanks a lot for being with us this evening, and I'll be following what's going on from here in Austin with the controlled media, and try to keep in touch with you and find out what's happening. And I've been very tempted to try to come out to Arizona, but I figured that you had everything under control. I was just going to come out and probably do a news story, but I don't have the time either. And if they kill you, well, who knows? It may explode here, too. And they've got their little unmarks driving around and all the rest of the behavior going on. And I'm sure sad that there's elements of our federal government and a lot of dupes that work for them that really don't know who they're really working for. What would you say to the law enforcement officers out driving around in their cars? Because I get a lot of calls from them on this program.
Well, the only thing I can say to them is they're not going to like being slaves either. That badge and that gun isn't going to give them any special privileges in the New World Order. In fact, if they'll read State Department Publication 7277, they'll find out that most of their law enforcement agencies are going to disappear, except for a small group that will be just used to maintain internal order once they have everybody in the bonds of enslavement. And also, if they study the history of socialism and communism, everybody who helped socialism and communism come to power are the first people that they eliminate once they have welded the last chains in place.
Because,
the intelligentsia.
Yes, I say this all the time, because they were the people that helped get the establishment into full command. They know how the system works at certain levels. They're the biggest threat. It's just like this. Whenever some little slime ball comes up to the gate and opens up the castle gate and lowers the drawbridge for the enemy to come in, the first person the enemy kills is that traitor, because the enemy knows that next week that little rat traitor is going to open the gate for somebody else.
That's right.
That's it.
They go against the Constitution now, they'll go against socialism later.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as the nose in your face. So all you little traitors marching around out there think you're going to be some big whiz in this New World Order. You're not. You're gonna be right up there on the scaffold, hanging with the rest of them.
Well, sir, again, Mr. Cooper, have a good one, and thanks for being with us this evening. Again, this is all, I guess it's not good news, it's not bad news, it is just the news, and I'll be trying to keep in touch with you. God bless.
You too.
Take care. That was Bill Cooper. You can tell I'm real tired. That guy has a lot to say. I got like 3 hours sleep last night. Good thing we have good guests like that. And I've got to go down and or get somebody to let Shane Witcher in the building. He's been in Montana where they're kicking people off the land and shutting down public lands. I'm Alex Jones. This is The Real Spin. Stay with us. We've got a double up on